I've been researching what is currently known about poverty in families with young children, especially children under the age of 5 or too young to go to public schools in the United States. And here's what I've learned. A study that ranged from 2008 to 2014 following families who were experiencing or near poverty in 2008 found that only 41% of those families by 2013 had established themselves as economically resilient or financially stable. The United States has large gaps in their current systems to include CTC, EIC, ACTC. Those make sense to me because I do tax prep. And there's also a large gap between when families are on welfare and when they start working, where childcare is not accessible to them. These gaps often cause people to fall back into poverty. And like most social services are pretty fluid and change really often and really aren't as solid as most people would assume they are. Because of the fluidity and the flexibility of government aid, this means that most families depend on what's called informal aid, so help from family, friends, gifts, loans, side jobs, free childcare. And there is a lot of debate about how to end these problems. Some suggest that we bolster our current system with more financial support. Others would like us to target our responses to all facets of poverty. Other methods include focusing on financial inclusion, which keeps families connected to remittances, credit, bank accounts, and flexible transaction methods like being able to cash checks easily, get direct deposits, that sort of thing. Unlike many would assume, poverty isn't just that you don't have money for some time. It includes that you don't have access to health care, that it happens in a cyclic manner or reoccurring or a chronic manner, or sometimes it's just intermittent. I assumed that we had a lot of money going into this. We were just maybe putting it in the wrong spot, like focusing on intermittent poverty instead of chronic and cyclic poverty. And that is the case, but we're also really not putting a whole lot towards this. U.S. spending on children is just 9% of our total spending, whereas the adult portion of Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security is 45%. Poverty also does more harm to families with young children. So early childhood is where poverty will do the most harm to a person long term.